I'm just,
Oh, got it.
that's fine. Hey, everybody, welcome to this Tuesday night special training for the Engager Pro Monster Engager. We've got a fantastic training built for you tonight so you can learn about this powerful tool, learn how to leverage the billions of weekly users on Facebook and get engagement. And this pairs perfectly with what we're doing here at Save Club with all of our marketing funnels and our marketing tools. This will take your efforts and supercharge them and really just open up the funnel of engagement and really start with communication. So I'd like to introduce everybody to Emerson Willis. Emerson's been top marketer. He's done a lot over the years in the industry with AI, with automation, with personal development, and it's all culminated into a tool that's working right now fantastically. And the way that it's incorporated AI and it's just so intelligent with how to communicate with people. I mean, it writes better than probably 95% of people. So, with that, Emerson, if you want to, just dive in, I guess start with a summary of the engager and how it came to be, and then we can get right into the training.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'm really excited for everybody to tune into this, whether you're watching a replay or here with us live. Hey, everybody who's here with us live. This is going to be a really fun journey. So when I've had somebody ask me, what does this thing do? I actually had a lady the other day. She goes, can you tell me what this thing does in a couple of sentences? And I was like, man, that's a tall order. Let me give it a shot. So what I did is I asked her a question and I said, well, what's your current game plan to engage with at least 20 or 30 people every single day, 365 days out of the year? And there wasn't an answer, which I know that not a lot of people have an answer to that question because that's a tough thing to do. Maybe some of y'all can, but the answer to that question is that is exactly what we're able to do with this technology. Okay. And it's very extraordinary what that actually means for you. And you'll actually go through several phases, and some of it could happen really quickly for you. Some of it will take a little bit longer. It just depends on who you are, what you do, who you're connected with now. But there's no such thing as being too late to the game. You could be brand new to Facebook. I don't care what your age is. I don't care if you're 85 years old. I have an 83-year-old man using this tool who's doing more Facebook engagement than probably 99% of people on Facebook. It's pretty exciting. I've got other people so anybody can do this. I just want you to really know that anybody can do this. And the hardest part is the setup part. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But also, if you just don't even want to bang your head against the wall with that, guess what? You can have my team do it and we'll show you how you can do that. But for those of you who are brave and you like using AI tools and stuff like that, it's not rocket science, okay? So, but it's a lot of fun. What happens? I'll just tell you about a few of the phases. I don't want to do like a long spiel so we can get into some of the actual meat and potatoes of what's going on with it. But what happens in the real world outside of Facebook or outside of any other social media platform? What happens when you engage with other people, right? You talk to them, you're on a conversational basis, is those relationships are nurtured, they're active. If you're not on a conversational basis, you might have a relationship. It could be a best friend you haven't talked to in a while, maybe an old colleague. But if you're not talking, um, it's an inactive, dormant relationship. Charles and I were talking about this earlier. He has got all kinds of contacts and all kinds of people on Facebook, but he's been busy building Save Club and doing all this for you. What happens is the day that you wake up your Facebook account and you start engaging with other people, it's really nice because all of these connections that you've collected, whether it be for, depends on how long you've been on. I've been on for years, well over a decade. They start to go from dormant to active. So all the first phase that'll happen is people start saying, "Hey, David, what have you been up to? Wow, it's been a long time since we talked." That opens up the conversation to next things. Oh, I'm doing this thing with Save Club or whatever it is you end up saying. But the second thing that'll end up happening is people are going to start seeing you popping around all over the place. You'll get a lot of organic traffic to your profile. So if you're using all the wonderful content that David Dubbs has been creating for you, these posts, these reels, all these things, you're going to be getting organic traffic over your profile. So you should definitely leverage that stuff and make sure you're posting. The third thing that'll happen, my favorite thing, is when people organically reach out to you. They will send you a direct message. They'll say, "Hey, I saw your comment on my post the other day, and I wanted to reach out to you because of XYZ." I had a guy that I just interviewed yesterday. His name's Todd Falcone. He's a guy that's, a mentor to a lot of the big top network marketing companies, spoken all over the world. But guess what? I didn't do anything other than press my little Monster Engager button. He sends me a message to my messenger and says, "Hey, Emerson, happy early birthday. What's your story? I saw your comment on my live the other day." So you're going to really start stimulating connections on Facebook, and it's absolutely incredible. So
And Emerson, where did that lead? This is someone, Todd Falcone is a friend of mine. I've known him for probably 20 years.
yeah.
Now you've never met him, but the engager was commenting on his video, and he reached out to you. And then where did that lead to?
Okay, and it happened really fast. This was a week ago. I have never met Todd Falcone prior to a week before, but because my Facebook's been stimulating and connecting with people, he was a friend of a friend of a friend, right? And so when he reached out to me, I immediately replied back to him and I told him what I'm doing. So I interviewed him last night, but he's actually test driving this tool right now because he wants to share it with all the people he knows in this network marketing space.
And guess what, guys? When people look at the tool and they go, "Wow, this is a cool tool," go, "Great, yeah, you can use it." And guess what? When you're with Save Club, it saves you more than your membership. So you
There
get
you
them as a
go.
Save Club member because they want the tool. It's the same thing with Stay Well Copper or the oral care system or these supplements. If they even just buy one product, then it pays for their Save Club membership. They get all the other benefit, then they keep going like that. But the engagement piece has been exciting for me. I got to go. I can't wait to pull up my engager. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start. I'm going to do another session right
Yeah,
now while we're on the call. Look how easy it is. I'm just going to
same
go
here.
run
Same here.
engagement. Okay, I'm going to get this thing running.
Yep. And here's the fun thing, guys. I know what'll happen is, and I know some of you probably had me do your setup too. If we need to tweak it a little bit, that's all good. Once you get this thing locked in, it's like your perfect little twin that goes out there and just keeps stimulating and nurturing relationships and all kinds of opportunities to start coming out of the woodwork. So
Yeah.
I would
So
recommend, go ahead. Yes,
I
sir.
was going to say, hey, Dave Dubs, when can you open up a Chrome browser and get ready? We're going to walk you through the whole process here and do it live so everybody can see what it is like to download the engager and access it. And this will be a kind of a good walkthrough to to getting it started. And these are the exact steps that we'll go through. So that a good idea, Emerson, to just
I
kind of
think that's great. Yeah, I think
show
that's a really
live
good idea.
how to get the browser. So what this is a browser extension for your Chrome browser. So you've got to be on Chrome. It's Google Chrome's a browser. You might be on Firefox or Safari or something. You're going to want to get the Google Chrome browser. So that's just kind of step one. And then from there, Emerson, you want to walk them through
Yeah.
how to download it?
Absolutely, absolutely not a problem at all. So yeah, and another thing too, the way your Chrome browser works on a tablet or a phone, it's a different kind of browser. It can't support extensions. That's just something that the capability is not there. So just know you're gonna need a laptop or a computer, and it works on Chromium browsers. So you're right. So what I'll do is I'll kind of show you what this looks like. Now, a lot of people think it's, they go log into an app on a website. This is going to be an extension that lives on your browser, and I'll start sharing my screen right now. Unless, did you want to show it, David, or should I just go ahead and share my screen?
I mean, I'm not really set up. I got unset up so I could set up, but whatever you guys want to do.
I could do it. How about this? Here's the thought. I just want to give a quick tour of it, and then we can actually do you because you're unset up right now, right? So that
Yep.
would be okay. I just want to show you something real quick, guys. All right. So if you're looking at my screen, while I'm doing this presentation, I'm working hard over here. Now, extensions are these little things here. You see this little blue guy? It's a small little guy. When you look at where my mouse is at right here, I could probably use an annotator right here. Oh, wait, it doesn't let me go up there. Let me see if we can do this. It's not letting me annotate. We'll just go back to this. So this little puzzle piece looking thing is where all of your extensions live. I have a bunch of extensions. Don't mind that. I'm going to unpin a couple of them just so we don't distract you with those. So when you're looking for this thing, you're going to need to have it installed on your browser. It's not a website that you go to. So when you go to get this for yourself, you're going to just need to download it from the Chrome Web Store. As far as the link for that, we'll go ahead and there's two ways you can get to the Chrome Web Store. You can just go like this, engagement. You could do this right now. You can actually download the extension without even having a subscription. So if you want to just get a head start on it, I mean, this is just how you do it straight from Google. I can give you a link to it as well, but engagement monster AI Chrome extension. So if I type this into Google, there's probably about a 99% chance it's the first thing. So this is the Chrome Web Store. There's all kinds. This is where all extensions live. You download them from here, unless you've like created it offline, but this is where you usually get them. Don't go on any websites. Don't go anywhere other than the Chrome Store. I can also share. And by the way, when you do sign up for this, when you go ahead and get it from Save Club, you're saving a bunch of money. All these instructions will be in the email as well. But this is what you're going to see right here. So right now, mine says remove from Chrome because it's added. All you're going to do is hit this blue button in the right top corner, and it's going to say add. So we're going to go ahead and do that with David. And then once you've added it, it will live in this little area where you're we'll call that the puzzle pieces, and you'll want to pin it. See, right now, if I take that pin out, it disappears, and you're like, where did it go? So it's right next to where you type your website addresses in, right here, and you'll go ahead and put a pin in it, and it'll stay there. Anytime you log into it, you want to click it, and it'll pull up this window here. But this is the dashboard. So right now it's working. So that's a real quick thing. Now, if you want to, David, we could go ahead and just have you do that first step just so people can see it actually happening live because I'm already installed. Do you want to go ahead and share your screen, and I'll kind of like we'll just walk you through it just like anybody else is doing, because you can watch this later also when you're going ahead and you can stop it, pause it, rewind it. We also have a video that comes out in the email that takes you through every one of these steps.
All right, you guys need to turn my sharing on.
Oh, here we go. Allow to. Where's the thing? I don't know if I have that permission.
Got him. There you go, dude.
Okay, cool.
Sorry about that.
All right, share my screen here and search at the very top, Engager, right?
Yep. So you are in the Chrome store. You can do it. Engagement Monster is the full name. Engagement Monster AI. I call it Monster Engager because that's what's in my head, but it's actually called Engagement Monster. And by the way, it doesn't cost anything to pin this to your browser. So if you're following along with us, go ahead and click it. So it looks like
there's two of them. So people make sure they pick the right one.
That's very interesting. I've never seen that.
You want to pick the one that says AI?
Well, you know what? Let's do one better too. I'm going to drop the link into the group chat here as well.
Yep. It's the one that says 20 ratings 5.0.
Okay. Am I still sharing my screen?
Oh yeah, it looks like it. Yep.
I don't know how that happened. Okay. All right. So this one right here. Add to Chrome.
Yep. So that little button he just pressed that says add to Chrome. And we'll come to you here in a moment, Sue. Appreciate you guys. Now, you press that little real quick, slow down and do that. Hit that that little puzzle button. Show everybody that again real quick. So you open that up and you'll see he's got a few other extensions, but he's going to go down and click the engagement monster and put a pin in it. That way it lives on the browser in that toolbox area. So when he clicks it, you'll notice this pop-up screen comes up to go log in. When you have gotten an account, you've checked out and you've signed up through Save Club here and got your discount, it will immediately create your account and it'll be the email that you sign up with. And you'll have a default password of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So David, if you want to go ahead and log in, and we'll take a look at what'll happen. Now, there's a couple things. Every once in a while this happens because it's syncing with something in the cloud. If you ever see these little monsters spitting out these coins and you get stuck, just do a hard reset and log back in. That fixes all the problems. Sometimes I've had to do that every now and then. So right now, he's waiting for this little monster to stop spitting out coins. So it might actually be a good thing if it does this little freeze thing. It looks like it's going to do it. All right. So go ahead and click the extension again, David, and we're just gonna do it a second time. It's They're probably doing some updates. So go, you see that little thing? It looks like a power bar, the power button in the top right hand corner. That's the power button. You can shut it off. So go ahead and hit that. That'll log you out. Um, Again, sometimes it's just out of sync. So I'm glad we actually saw this. And just repeat the step again. Once you're in, you're in. You don't really have to think about it. But here we go. It should work on the second time. Every once in a while, you might have to do it. Sometimes you log in right away. Sometimes I have to do this like 3 times and it drives me crazy. Okay, there you go. So this is the first screen. You're about to pair your little monster engager to your profile. Okay. And by the way, if you haven't got it, I could probably put it in the chat. If you haven't already got, I'm going to make sure I do this to everybody. Waiting room participants. I need to go somewhere else here. Let me close this. You're going to go ahead and paste in your Facebook profile URL. Hey, do you mind going over to yours, David, just so we could see what that looks like? What is your own Facebook profile? By the way, it can't be a business page. This needs to be a personal Facebook profile. And so what he did is he went to where people see his profile. It's his landing page, and he grabbed the URL that is the link to his profile. So he's going to grab that. Go ahead and copy paste it or copy it. And then he's going to go put that in there and he's going to hit connect. Now, again, if this gets stuck, which it does every now and then, this is like once you're past this, when you log in, you'll be golden. So we'll give it a second. And again, of course, because we're doing a demonstration, technology loves to give us a little bit of trouble. Let's see here. While he's doing that, I'm going to share in the chat. If you haven't already picked up, and Charles, while he's doing that, do we want to explain to them basically how it works? So with Save Club, we worked out a really sweet deal for you all. It's basically like $1 a day, guys. You get 35% off when you go through the Save Club link. Let's see here. And you just go through, you put the coupon code in there. And plus there's also some compensation that we've worked out with Charles. It's going to go back into the compensation model for you guys. So you're going to want to get your team on this and, do that. Here we go. Meeting group chat. Here we go. So you want this. I'm going to put the thing in the chat. So it's www.engagerpro.com/save club. That's the link. You guys can grab that and you can go there and you'll use the, at checkout, you use the coupon code save club. It'll knock 35% off. So it's a pretty sweet deal there for you. Now, see, this is what happened for David. And I'm glad that it happened because it happens every once in a while, maybe, 2 or 3 times out of 10, but today it seems to be happening. So you remember how you had to log out and log back in, David?
Yep.
Go ahead and do that really again. I know it's big pain. It'll all be worth it. That's the fun part. It's just when it's synchronizing. I don't know why it does this sometimes, but when you're synchronizing, because you're actually connecting once your Facebook account is connected to this.
I have a big Facebook. That's probably the reason. I have a lot of followers and a lot of whatever. So it's probably.
Okay, here, it's going to make you do it one more time. I don't know what it is. Second time's a charm. Yeah, usually there it goes. See the little window open on the far left corner, that little tab, that little Facebook thing popped up and there we go. So give it a second and don't make us log. Okay, good. We have successfully synced David's account and we went through that. Yeah, we had to do a little bit of the log out, log back in thing, but he's in there. Now, you probably have one of those big screens, don't you? Those big wide ones.
Yep.
Yep. It's stretched a little wide. I don't know how if you guys did.
Yeah, can you shrink it down, Dave?
Let's try to do something like this here.
I know
Yeah.
you got
I got a massive screen, man. It's tough
Yeah,
to.
no, yeah, Dave, stop sharing and then share just the window.
Oh, there you go. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Let me just do this advanced.
It's one of those big wraparound screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, yeah, and you can move that over a little bit. It looks like we're seeing. Oh, there we go. Perfect.
Much better. Much better.
So let's just take you for a real quick tour, guys. We don't need to make any adjustments or changes. I just want to show you where things are at. So this is your dashboard. Now on the left side, when you click the settings, that's going to be the first place you go. All right. So there's this is where all the settings are. So there's one that says Chat GPT. So if you click that, Now, this is the part that scares people, but it's not really that bad. You're going to need an API key. It goes there and you hit save. We won't do that yet, though. And then there's some different models there. I always pick GPT-40. They haven't updated it at 5.1, but it works great. So we'll come back to the key thing. Now, just go to the left side and go down to engagement. You can skip message. This is where all of our settings are that will allow us to set it up to where it'll tell it how many engagements to do, how often to do them, and there's some other settings. We'll go walk through these. We won't hit these right away. I just wanted to show you where they are. This is how you tell it to function. Now, the next thing down on the list, you'll see comment / AI comment. This is where we're going to be able to put your prompts. So your prompts, basically, this thing, guys, this thing is connected to AI. It needs to be really smart because it has to mimic your personality, and it has to be able to read the comments, excuse me, and the post that it's commenting with. So your prompt, I'll show you a prompt because you know how those work. So that actually gives it its personality, tells it what its job is. Those are the main areas you're even going to mess with right now off the bat. Pretty much after these things are set up, you're going to go right back to your dashboard. So go ahead and click dashboard again. And you're just going to hit that run engagement button, which we're not ready to do yet, but that will allow it to go out there and run, and it's going to start engaging with the world. And when it does that, there's not really much you're doing. You could be in another window. You could be on a Zoom call. Like right now, Charles is engaging. I'm engaging. And we'll probably do this instead of for a moment, we're going to actually look over an account like mine that's already set up instead of setting it up because it might be a little overwhelming if we do that at first. So go ahead and hit stop share. And I just want to show you guys a couple of things so I can show you what we're about to do. All right. Here we are. So here we are. This is my dashboard. Now the activity log, we hadn't clicked that yet. But when you are engaging, this is going to be where you start to see your engagements. You can see today, I'm hitting about 19 engagements today. And I try to do 20 or 30 a day. Now, guys, here's another thing I'm going to tell you. Don't go out there and do 40, 50, 60, 70 engagements your first time you use this because Facebook's going to go, whoa, 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 slow down and probably time you out and say, hey, look, you can't use the comment. So we're going to keep it real light at the beginning and warm up your account. But this is where those show up. And when they are happening, you can literally click the comment. It'll take you right to the comment. And I'm going to explain something to you really quick that helps you understand. So the engager is going to read every single word in the post. Looks like this guy's traveling or something like that. It's going to read every single word. Then it's going to go down to the comments and it's going to read all of the comments. That's going to give it some sort of context. And then it's going to run through your prompt, which is your personality and the job. And it's going to leave a comment. Here's my comment. So it tags the guy. Tanner, that's quite the itinerary. Love how you're embracing this freedom. Curious, what drew you to those places? It's leaving an open loop. A lot of times what happens here is I get a reply, and that stimulates Facebook algorithms. It makes them think about you. It gets them engaged with you. Plus, I'm showing up in this guy's world, so it's pretty cool. And, we'll get into the details why that matters, but I'm connecting with all kinds of people that have very massive followers. So going back to the dashboard, this is what it's going to look like when you get your engagement set up. So if you guys are going to, these settings that I have right now are perfect for a brand new person. So if you literally took a screenshot of that and just copied me, same for you, David, too. This is how I set up people's account right here. And I'll tell you what's happening really quickly. I'm going to go slowly through it. The first question it asks, this is the run settings. How long to wait between engaging with the same friend again? We don't want to hit them too hard at first. So I put a pretty big number here, 3,000 minutes. You can do the math on it if you want, but we don't need to. It just gives it, I think it's a couple days. If someone's a math wizard here, feel free to put that in the chat, how long that is. Now, the next one is delay time between engagements. That means how long it's going to wait till it does its next engagement. You don't want to be doing this too fast because it doesn't look like a real human being, and Facebook really doesn't like that. So this is really emulating exactly like you're doing it. So what we have here is we have 4 minutes. This is a great increment for anybody. I have stuck with this for a long time. And so every 4 minutes, it's going to make a new comment. How long will the manual engagement run? I turn this toggle on and I change it to 28. That means it's going to go every 4 minutes for 28 minutes, right?
And we're saying you're not sharing again, right? I don't know. We just see your face.
Really?
Yeah, it did that to me too. I don't know why.
Very strange. Let me get back to it.
There you go.
You get to see my thinking face. All right. So these are the numbers here. So again, it's going to go every 4 minutes. It's going to do an engagement for 28 minutes. This is really important. That's about 7 comments, guys. The first time you turn this thing on, 7 comments is a pretty good starting point, especially if you haven't been doing a lot of engagement. You could probably hit that a couple times in one day and be just fine. But if you keep running this thing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, you might get the Facebook police saying, slow down. We're going to have to turn your comments off for a couple days. It's happened to me. I went way too fast when I first started using this. I had no idea it would even matter. So anyways, and then this right here is not super critical, but it reloads my feed after 4 engagements. What that means is this little monster is working in this little tab. You see this one right here? And just a quick note, you never want to see 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of these things. That means you've like got multiple things running. You're just going to want to force close them. There should only be one. And right now you can see it's just running. It's working through my feed. So I've already gotten 6 comments since we started this call. Pretty cool. Down here, I don't change any of these things. Now, if you guys want to run it automatically, you can. You would turn this toggle on. I never do that. Me personally, I like to be there. But for some of you, you might decide to just want to turn it on. Just make sure you don't have it run for too long to where you get too many comments. So you can turn that on until it's, and your computer does need to be on because it needs the browser to work. As you see, it needs this to happen. So, okay, over here, the engagement settings. This is kind of like reversed, like a double negative. Sometimes it messes with my head. At first, it says don't engage on posts if. Now you see all these reactions. These are the reactions we can leave on a post. Well, why did I select these ones? Because if the most common reaction that's being left on the post is angry, I'm staying away from that post. I'm not letting my AI touch it. It'd probably do fine, but I'm just staying away from the post. These ones can be touchy stuff. It could be somebody died, somebody's sick, all kinds of stuff. I just stay away from these. I mean, I've commented on this one, but this means I'm only going to be sticking to posts where the most common reaction is a like, a heart, or a laugh. Now, I've pretty much selected all of these settings as well, and I'll go through them one by one. Here's why I don't want to engage with them. If this one says that have no textual content, that means the engager doesn't really know what's going on with the post. I don't want to engage with that. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but it's kind of shooting in the dark. That have no reactions on them. I'd prefer to stay away from it because I'd rather know. I'd rather just skip that one. Now, this one here says suggested for you. I don't mind engaging on that. That's okay. From blacklisted people, by the way, I'll show you what the blacklist is. This allows you to actually say, I never want to engage with certain people. If you turn that on, it will not engage with them. Going down, that have no comments on them. I like to have context with comments. So I don't engage with a post unless it's already got comments on it yet. If you're feeling a little bit more risky and you don't really care, then turn that off. It's up to you. Now, I currently have these turned off as well from groups. So if you've joined a lot of groups, like, you might want to turn this on. Let's say you've joined a lot of groups where people are looking for side hustles. They're looking for a gig. They're looking for network marketing, affiliate marketing. If you have this turned on, those posts that are coming from the group will show up in your news feed. And it's actually probably really good to be engaged with those. Pages are a lot of things. There's so many pages out there. I don't particularly engage with them. It could be like a cooking page. It could be a page for some product. Just depends on what pages you have. And now, if you wanted to, you can also comment on ads. I have mine turned off. This thing will actually comment on ads. Quick little tip there that's kind of funny is if you do comment on an ad, keep in mind your comment is following around a paid advertisement. That means you're getting free advertisement. You're following it around because people do read the comments. So this is how I set up every brand new person's account. And this is pretty much how I've been running mine since the beginning. Every once in a while, I'll change this to go for longer, but I like to do around 7 comments in the morning. I might hit it in the afternoon, maybe once in the evening. When you get warmed up, I recommend somewhere between 20 and 30 comments per day. Which, by the way, guys, for $1 a day, you can do 20 to 30 comments a day. It would easily take you 2 to 3 hours to do that, and lots of mental gymnastics. And the AI is smart and consistent and shows up very well for you. So you'd be saving yourself $1 a day, but I don't know anybody who's going to be consistent enough to do this. So going down, this is where things seem a little technical. This is where, and let me show you. So like right now, I'll show you some of different prompts. So what we're looking at here, what this is this is kind of the DNA behind what gives it its personality to make it comment the way it does. This is what allows me to tune it to sound more like you instead of like me. Or if you want to be kind of like witty, you can make it witty. If you're kind of like you use a lot of emojis, you can make it use a lot of emojis. This really allows us to fine tune the personality, so it doesn't sound like a bot. So I mean, I gave it a lot of information about myself, and there's a way that you structure this. So, and I have a GPT that I created. I'll show you how to do it if you want to make your own. And by the way, all these instructions are in your email you get when you sign up. So I'm just showing you mine. So the first part right here, this is the system prompt. When you put your system prompt in, this is going to be its identity. This is really who it is, a little bit about its personality. And then this second part here, the prompt, this is its job. This is the job you're giving it. And you'll notice I have a pretty interesting structure here. I actually worked with the developers to make sure that you do it a very certain way. I wanted mine to actually be authentic and a little bit more imperfect. So I use like double periods. Sometimes it won't, uh, you know, uppercase the first letter because that's kind of how people actually type. It's like you're sending a text message or something. So you'll notice here, and we don't have to read the whole thing, but I have several rules in here. And here's the thing too, if you're like a person of faith, you can say, I want to be really expressive with my faith. If you're a person that's not a faith, you want to kind of stay away from it, you can kind of create the personality that'll help you. Like think about it. People post about politics online. You can tune it to be the way you want to be, or you can say, hey, look, I just want it to kind of stay low, stay low. Sports, hey, look, I'm a Broncos fan. I'm from Colorado. So, I tell it that. Have I ever even had it mention Broncos? No, I haven't. But this is where the special sauce is. If you don't get the prompt right, the output of the comment might be weird because it doesn't have a lot to go off. Now, once you get this prompt in here, and I'll show you how I do it, and maybe we'll have a volunteer in the room that I can do it with David or something like that, so I can show you how I make a prompt. It's very easy when you use my tool. Now, at the bottom, there's this little thing that says advanced settings. I always turn that on because the maximum length of characters is usually set at 2,500. That means your comments are going to be way too long, in my opinion. So I turn it down to about 1,100. The temperature thing, this is a very subtle thing. I usually put it to about 0.5 or 0.6 just because it gives it a little bit more character. You don't have to mess with this if you don't want to, but no matter what you do, when you create a prompt, you want to make sure you hit save here. And you'll notice I have a bunch of old ones that I just left here. And then there's all these emojis on the side. So anytime I select one of these emojis, the reactions, this is the prompt I have turned on for if it leaves a like. If it leaves a love, it's going to use this one. So if you want to kind of fine tune your prompts separately for each of these types of emojis, you can go in there and tweak it. But I like to stick with pretty much the same thing because it works well. But this is probably the hardest part, but I'm going to try to make it easy for you guys. So let's do this. I am going to let me get this link for you guys. So I'm going to go to my chat GPT. And by the way, you can use chat GPT for free. And I'm going to put this link. I think I have a better link for it. Give me a second. Engager. What is the I'm in it right now. Let's see here. I wanted to see if I can get you the link. I might not have gotten here. Okay. Nope, that's not it. Okay, that's fine. I'm just going to give this to you here. So what I have is I built a GPT. For those of you that don't know what that is, this thing has been trained on how to build prompts for the engager. So I'm going to share this with you guys in the chat. It's also in the documentation that goes out with your email and with the training. So we'll go to about. So it's called Engager AI Coach. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the link here, copy this, and I'm going to put it in the chat. So if you guys want to save this, this would be a smart thing. This will take you here. Now, if you want to follow along with me, I know you might be watching the recording, but here's what I want to show you. So this is how we would build a prompt, and it's actually really not that hard. Now, I have premium chat GPT, so it allows me to talk a little bit more. Even if you don't have chat GPT, you can go get a free account, chatgpt.com, and do this. So if you're a newbie, that's okay. That's okay. No worries there. I'm going to grab, let's see here. I'll show you an example. David, you filled out the form, didn't you? Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, when we first set it up, just playing. I didn't do a lot of Save Club stuff yet.
No, that's okay. But what's funny is I can just show you, like, you don't even have to really read it, but let me show you something really cool. So under form submissions, let me just do this real quick for you. And we're not going to like analyze David. That's the fun part because this isn't really that hard. But here, give me a second here. My computer's deciding to do some loading here. Okay. It's looking. Again, now, how about this? I'm actually going to do it a little bit different instead of using the form because that's not fair. So this is how I would create my prompt. Okay, so you're going to go in here and say, I'm just going to make up a persona here. Hi, I need new prompts for my engager. Can you help me? I'm going to be really basic here. So here's what it's going to look like, something along the lines of this. Yeah, so what it does is it shows my gold standard prompt. So if you're kind of curious, this kind of shows you what a good prompt looks like and works. And you could even say, hey, this just shows you what it looks like. There's a system prompt. Here's a gold standard prompt that shows you how to do the comment. So the universal template that you have come up here is a skeleton. In theory, you could copy this and just fill in the blanks. And it's going to work really well. It takes out kind of the meat and potatoes out of what makes my prompt work. So you could do this and not say anything. Now, if we wanted to let this thing build it for us, we could just answer these questions. What's your name? What's your company or brand? Your mission or primary focus, your values or worldview, your favorite team, hobbies, personal flavor. And here's what I'm going to do. You guys could copy literally this. So I'm going to just say, my name is Bob. That's my name. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to put 1, Bob, answering that question. 2, my company or brand, Save Club. I don't own the company, but I work with them, right? What's my mission? Help people save money and make money. Why not? Cool. Yeah, and connect with people. I'm just going to, I'm typing this like a 5th grader. Okay. Number 4, it's real inspiring, right? What are my values or worldview? You could just say faith. Let's just say I'm gonna just be really simple here. Neutral. This is not true for me, but I'm just saying neutral. Oh no, it's asking about grit. I love music, people, connecting, entrepreneur. I'm probably gonna spell this wrong, but it's okay. It'll know what I'm trying to say. Number 5, my favorite team or hobby. Broncos, playing guitar, personal flavor. I'm friendly and witty. You can put as much as you want here, but I just gave it some pretty low basic answers. So I'm going to answer that, and here's what's going to happen. And you're almost there. This thing's about to build me the perfect prompt, and I will show you a couple things you'd need to do. This is the one thing that will get people stuck if they don't have a tool like this. I guess it keeps showing that. It's just something I built into it. So it'll skip that. Wait, let all this stuff go. And your prompt will end up underneath it. So wait, let's wait for Bob's. It's coming. Here comes Bob's Save Club prompt. Yep, so here we go. I would copy this code. So this is the system prompt. Let me go back to my thing. And we're going to go over back to this here. Engagement monster. If I was going to, now I'm going to show you guys like this is a very special moment in the training right now. You're not going to have any prompts in here if you haven't had yours set up by us or you're doing it yourself. So you're going to want to come into this section here under settings, comment, /AI comment, and you're going to hit this add button. Okay. Now, when you do that, you do not want to put the prompt here because it will literally write that prompt as its comment. You got to hit this thing over here. It says enable AI comment. Now, this won't work if you don't have your chat GPT key yet. We'll come back to that. But I'm just going to simply copy paste the prompt for Bob. So now I just became Bob. I like to delete all these little M dashes. I don't like them in there because it'll use them in your comments. And I think they look kind of like AI. So this is a great prompt. I could count on it. Then, I did it in another window. Sorry, guys. Now I'm going to come down and grab the system prompt. This is the custom prompt here. Let's take that, go right back over to here. And you'll get good at switching between these little tabs. These little tabs are really important. So I'm going to go ahead and copy paste this in here. There you go. And let's see here. Your comment should feel present like someone actually. Yeah, there we go. So if I was about done with this comment, I would also want to hit the advanced settings like we said before. See how it says 2048? That's way too many characters. I'm going to hit 1100. I want to change this up to 0.5. And I'm going to hit save. Now watch what happens when I hit save. Here's my new prompt. It's up here. See this? So this prompt would work. It would definitely work. It would be okay. And now, if you guys ever need any tweaking or any help, you can go back to the little chat thing that I created and say, hey, it's not sounding like me. Can you help fix it? It'll actually analyze what you're telling it. Hey, it sounds too much like this, and it'll update your prompt for you. But let's say I now wanted to make, I wanted to clone that prompt to all the other emojis so I don't have to redo it all over. I'll just simply select it and then hit this clone button over here, clone. And I will click all of these and I will hit clone. I'm not going to hit it because I'm not going to keep all those, but it would actually clone them all and you'd be done. So I'm going to go ahead and delete it. How I delete it is whatever one you have selected here in this middle area is the one you're on. So I'm going to delete that one because I'm not Bob. So I'm going to delete it and go like this. So Chat GPT. Let's talk about this really quick. This next section, this is super, super, super important. This is where people get hung up very easily, but it's not really rocket science. Once you do this once, you're like, oh my gosh, that's so easy. So even if you have a Chat GPT account, this is different. You have to get an API key. Well, where do you go do that is you have to go to open, you have to go to platform.openai.com. Platform.openai.com. I'm logged in right now. If you don't have an account, get logged in. This is different than ChatGPT. You don't need a subscription, but you do need to get logged into the back end, platform.openai.com. And once you're in there, you'll see there's all these menus in here, and people are like, man, where do I go? I don't know where to go. We just need use the search bar and just type in API. Okay. I'm kind of doing it the search way because if you get logged in, because I have a link that goes directly to this. And there you go. So this is let me go here, dashboard. Sorry, guys. Actually, go to your dashboard. Don't go to that search. We were just looking at documentation. So here on your dashboard, go down the left side. So we're at platform.openai.com/chat. We want to go down to API keys. So once you're on the API keys, you're ready to make a key. It's very simple. I'll make a dummy key right now. So check this out. I just click create new secret key up here. right? And you might have to get logged in and create your account. It doesn't cost anything. We're going to call this Engager AI test key. All right. Pick your project. You probably don't have one yet, but you could say demo or whatever. And you hit create new secret key. Okay, pause right here because you will never see this key again. So keep this screen open while you copy paste it. So I could copy this. I'd hit copy. It's already copied. I'd go back over to my engagement monster here. I'd click in this little window here and I would paste it. And then I would hit save. Boom. You now have your key in there. There is one more step to make sure it works because you now have a key. You just don't have any gas in the tank. You will need to put like $5, $10 into your OpenAI account for credits. Okay. Let's go back to the dashboard. So I click the dashboard again and let's see here. Projects. Where will we find that? Probably over here, settings. I went to settings. So you're at platform.openai.com/settings, organization, general. We're looking for the billing section. And I want to show you this, guys, because a lot of people get confused and they think because they have a ChatGPT account that they don't need to buy credits. If you have $0 balance in this, your API key will not work. So all you have to do is click add credit balance. You'll put in a card. You can put $5 in. It'll last you like forever, probably like 6 months. So it uses fractions of a penny. So these are kind of some of the main steps. Once you have that in there, you're golden. You have your this keys in there. That means you're ready to rock and roll. So real quick recap. You go into your settings, get your API key in there, make sure you hit save, choose GPT-40. You had to get that API key over here from platform.openai.com. Once that's done, check. Next thing on the list, go down to the engagement settings. You're going to want them to look roughly like this. So if you're watching this video again, just pause this screen and pretty much mirror what I have, and you'll be really good setup because this is going to help you not do too many engagements right off the bat. This is going to get you like 7 engagements. So make sure you do your settings just like this. After you've completed that, make sure you hit save. Once you've done that, you can now come into the comment/AI comment section and you're ready to post your system prompt and your prompt in there. So you're going to start by hitting the add button. And this is a very crucial step. When you hit that add button, now click this little toggle over here where it says enable AI comment. And you should see 2 boxes here. Once you've done that, you can grab that GPT that I have, and it's called Engager AI Coach, which I put the link in the chat. We'll make sure that also comes into your email as well. But you can look up Engager AI Coach, put it in the chat, and just tell it you need help setting up your system prompts. I need the system prompt and the prompt. Tell it as much about yourself as you want. Copy it, bring it over here, paste it, turn on the advanced settings, turn this to 1100 and this to 0.5, scroll down and hit save. Once you've done that, you are ready to rock and roll. Now there's other settings, but that's the like fundamental thing. If you never did anything else, you would be perfectly fine. You could come over here. Quick tip, pay close attention to this. When you hit run engagement like this, only click it once. I've seen some people, like I've double clicked it on accident sometimes. And then you see too many of these little windows over here on the far left. And if you ever see more than one of those while you're trying to run it and it's like stalling, it's not working, go ahead and just hit stop engagement. And if there's any left over here, you're going to need to force close them. You'll have to hit like control click or right click and just say close. Every time you start this thing, there shouldn't be any of those on there. So I have people say, hey, my monster's not working. What's the matter? And I see a bunch of those. It's because they've been double clicking the heck out of it. So right now mine's running again. I'm probably going to shut it off. I don't know how many have I done today? Quite a bit. I'll let it keep running for a second. But anyways, that's it. Quick tip. If you ever get frozen, ever, this is a really important tip. and you can't, you can log out here, but let's say the screen's frozen. You're like, what's going on? Click the icon for the extension right here. And when this box pops up, open, this little thing that looks like a power button, log out like David did in the beginning, and then just log right back in. If it does it again, repeat the process. I've never had to do that more than 3 times. It's very rare, but if it does happen, you're good to go. So that's really a simple part. I'll show you a couple of other features that are more advanced. We're going to continue training on some pretty cool stuff, but there's the listed friends. You can add blacklisted friends. Let's say I wanted to blacklist this guy, which I don't, but he's the one on my screen. I would go to his profile and I would select this right here and copy it, go back, and I would hit this right here. I'd paste the link and I'd hit plus. It'll open up, look at, see, it added him. So now I'm never going to comment on him if that happens. So if you feel like you're worried about commenting on somebody, go ahead and add them there. Whitelisted friends, it's the same thing, but in reverse. You'll go grab their profile like I did, copy, and you'll paste the link in here and you can add them in there. Now, I want to help you guys understand something. I know we're running up close to the hour, but when you're running this thing in those settings, if you wanted to turn it on to where it only comments on your whitelist friends, that means it's only going to engage with them. If I turn this on, you have to be careful though. Here's why. Your monster engager lives right here. And this is the only place it lives. It never goes outside of your news feed. This is your news feed. And it's called the infinite scroll. So if all those people that you whitelisted are not showing up in this news feed, your monster is going to skip over everybody and not engage with anybody. So I don't typically do that unless you have a really big whitelist group. So, but yeah, this is essentially what it does. It opens up your news feed here. It goes down. It looks at the first post. If it's allowed to engage with it, it'll read all of its words. It'll then read the comments and it'll engage with the post and it'll move on to the next one. This is an ad, so mine would have skipped this one. So it'll keep going down and down. So, and by the way, guys, when you do sign up and you go to engagerpro.com/save club, you guys can email me and I'm more than happy to try to help you walk through these things. These videos can be really helpful. Don't feel overwhelmed because by the time you get this thing set up, even if it took you a day, which it shouldn't, but if it did or two, once this thing's set up, all you have to do is literally log in and hit this run button and you're off to the races and it'll completely change your entire Facebook experience. So I know that's a lot. Is there anything else, Charles? Any questions? What would you like to cover? Because we got what? Are we going to be stopping hot on the hour?
Emerson, I mean that was a lot to bite off right there, and pretty fast. And I don't want you guys to feel intimidated about what Engager Pro setup is.
Charles,
Yeah,
real quick, we should show the training I did today that goes along with it.
yeah, that's an important piece. But Emerson, I mean, I'd like to stay, and help, as long as possible. I really think the API key and all that is pretty intense. What's the service that you guys have in place to set up people? You said you have like a concierge service.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys are like, I don't even want to think about it, I don't want to do it, I just want your team to do it. If that's the case, I'm going to give you a link here. Hold on a sec. And you guys can have us do it. Basically, you end up filling out a form. I log into your account and I do everything for you. I add the API key, I get all the settings in place, I get your prompt tuned up, and you can keep contacting me until we get it tuned just right. So let me get that.
Yeah, because that takes your setup, a lot quicker, and it doesn't have to seem intimidating, and it's a very fair price to set that up. Okay,
yeah.
Post in there, Dave. This is an awesome training about kind of the fundamentals of Facebook. So yeah, please show us what you got.
All right, guys, let me actually back this up so you can see how I got here. If you go to blitz90.com, blitz90, that's HTTP, not HTTPS, but blitz90.com, it will take you over. You'll see, first of all, you need to join our Blitz, okay? Once you join the Blitz, There'll be a blue button. If you have a Gmail, that's the easiest way to join. Click on learning, and right here, the first thing you'll see is set up your Facebook like a pro. Because again, this thing gets engagements to your Facebook. You're going to get a lot of people coming over to your Facebook and seeing, hey, what's going on with you? And there's just a lot of people that have bad Facebook setups. Okay. Just because you haven't really thought this through yet, or you haven't really cared too much. And so there's a lot of things that you need to do, to really get this thing to go. Like having a really good profile picture. Some of you would snapped a picture in the middle of nowhere and it's okay. But if you think about it, if someone came to your Facebook, well, they want to work with you. Some of you don't even have a picture of yourself. You got a picture of your dog or a tree. Most people want to work with people, not with a dog or a tree. So keep that in mind. So we walk you through how to set up your profile picture, then how to write a compelling bio. So if I want to know about you, I want to read your bio. Well, if you got nothing in your bio, you could be losing people. So we want to teach you how to do that. Then we show you how to create a link in bio because we have so many pages, capture pages, and ways you can use capture pages. Well, you can have one link and have almost all of them on there. Okay, so you don't have to write different links all the time. You can just add your link in bio. Pretty cool to do. Create a really compelling Facebook header. A lot of you guys saw my new one here. This is actually out of my training. Here, let's see if I pull it up. You know, I mean, if you come to my page, I look like a pro marketer, right? I mean, that looks like something, you know what I mean? As opposed to having, some of you have like a picture of your backyard, right? I mean, okay, but you want people to engage with you, right? So we go over how to do all this here, and then content. What kind of content do you post on your page? And again, you guys don't want to look like spammers. So I go over, what kind of content to post and how to break it up. So you're not every single post is looking like you're a walking billboard advertisement because people aren't into that. People aren't engaging with real people, right? So I show you exactly what kind of content to post, when to post the business stuff, and how to do it. And then I show you how to use all of our content drops. So where to grab our content that we already pre-made for you and basically how to go out there and utilize it and post it. Man, I spent a lot of time on this. This is a massive, massive class, guys. Hopefully you go through it. Hopefully you enjoy it. I know I was actually talking to our friend Marcia from the Copper, Staywell Copper, and she was going through it today, and she said she loved it. So really good feedback. So I think if you guys and gals would go through that, you wind up getting a lot out of it, right? So especially for you non-technical people or known, a lot of you aren't really marketers. You don't think like a marketer. So we gotta put your marketing hat on for a second to help you have more success. And again, this is free. It's in blitz90.com. You can go grab it for free and watch it. Out, man, we keep giving everything away for free. Charles, we need to start charging like $1,000 for stuff, then to watch it. All right. That's it.
Okay, great. Yeah, so Emerson, yeah, just to cover the last point here, and
Yeah.
and guys, we're gonna do this again because there's been I know that there's a lot of excitement here. I want to show the engager and just kind of what's happening here. Emerson, he got me set up earlier today,
Mhm.
and I've run 2 sessions with the engager here. So earlier today around this afternoon, it was posting comments in here. These are great accounts. These are great
Yeah.
people in here. And here's a friend, Misha, and I'm going to show you the post that came out here. And he did this beautiful display out here in if you're any of you are in the Bay Area in San Francisco, they lit up the Capitol building. They did all the light projection on here. But I want to show you guys on the comments. Well, it looks like there's been a couple on the comments here. There was like 21 different people commented on this, but let's see, I'm going to show all of them.
Yeah, they're all real short. That's the funny thing. Your comments will typically stand out to be a lot more interesting and authentic
Yeah,
because a
so
lot of
look at
times, yeah,
like 21 comments on here, and like very few people got a reply. And he wrote a real thoughtful reply here. You know, Charles, thanks. Appreciate the note. Truly been a labor of love to build the aluminum porch. So if this was it's a great comment that the engager had did for me, and now Misha's all warmed up. So now if I'm gonna if I'm going to message him in a private message or something, invite him to a webinar, give him a landing page. I mean, his responsiveness level is going to be very high, and that's going to be the same for all these people. And you can see as they come back and they comment back um, to on the post, you know that you've got that level of engagement, and it filters through. So this was, yeah, I set it to a very low number, just seven people at a time. There's only 14 engagement, but there's going to be a few people that engage right back. Then I'm able to drop into an instant message and let them know that what I'm up to, or they're going to go back onto my wall and they're going to see what I'm up to, and they're going to comment. And with all Dave's great Save Club stuff, I'm going to be littering my wall with great reels and links to the YouTube replays and everything right there, so people can come learn about what's going on with Save Club. So my goal's to get 20 enrollments out of here, just playing with this, just to show and demonstrate exactly how to use this massive prospect pool of Facebook of 2 billion people and harvest people into our funnels, and ultimately into growing the business.
Absolutely. Hey, do you mind if I make one quick comment? And I want to make sure you answer Miss Marcia, but Charles, can you give people an idea of how much you were using Facebook before Engager for the last little while?
Well, I've had a Facebook account and I used it commonly for like 12 years, but I just dropped off. Actually, I really started just dropping off during COVID, when it was just everybody was just arguing over there. And so, I left, and then I'd pop in a little bit and just to check on friends and whatnot. But I stopped posting and I really stopped participating there. But now with the Engager, this is a great way to engage with people, and these are great friends. I can't wait to talk to some of these people now that I'm actually back in and engaging. And so and people are going to want to know what I've been up to or what's going on. I'm going to direct them right into our funnel. So yeah, it's encouraging to have the system do the outreach for me and kind of filter through the people that and then when I go and message them, I'm not just dropping out of the blue.
Absolutely. And it'll be really fun to see that, because I know you've collected a lot of friends and a lot of contacts throughout the years. And the first thing this thing does is it just stimulates those relationships, and it gets kind of exciting, right? Bringing those friendships back together. This is good beyond business, guys. This is good just to bring people together. I know I see a hand up. I would love to hear the question from Marcia. She's been waiting so patiently.
Yeah, go ahead, Marcia. I saw you taking notes and really diving in to this. I know this could stimulate your business at Staywell probably pretty well also.
I have 3 pages of notes, and I did David's training today, so thank you all. Yes, Emerson, I wanted to ask you, early in this training, you said this was for personal accounts, not business accounts. And I really do want to use it for Staywell Copper. So can you explain why one and not the other, or both?
Yeah, it's a Facebook limitation, something we can't actually control because of the way that they function. Now, obviously, your business page, it's good that you have one. It's great that you have one. I know that, realize when you're using the Engager, it's because you're the person that runs your Staywell business, right, Marcia? You're the person that they come through. So ultimately, if you met a brand new person today or stimulated an old relationship that maybe you're like, oh, wow, I haven't talked to them about Staywell, right? You can drive them wherever you want to, right? But building a business, ultimately, it really does come down to relationships, right? It's just stimulating relationships and bringing them closer. So I don't think a lot of folks realize how powerful and resourceful your actual personal profile is. Now, some people are like, hey, I just use that for family and friends. And that's okay if you do that, but you're kind of like blocking yourself out of the major world that's out there there's 3.2 billion people that are logging into Facebook per month, and over 2 billion per day.
So one other add-on question, you said you just have one Facebook icon open on your browser bar. I always have my personal Facebook and my business Facebook open, so that's not going to work.
No, that's okay. I was just talking about the little icon here. I'll show you real quick. The little icon that starts to go when it's running. So come over here. Let me find my place again. Back here. Here we go. So this is open. That's fine, right? This is a Facebook tab. When I run this thing, I want to show you, and you'll get used to this. When I hit run, one click, you see this little window that opened up?
Yes.
That is the monster's home. This is the little monster engager's home. So you could be in here and I could be looking at my activity log. Now, I wouldn't go crazy like making lots of other comments and a bunch of activity while this is running. You kind of want to let the engagement do its thing and then come back to it. Now, if someone like replies, but see, I just opened up another tab. I could open up another tab here. That's fine. This is not causing any problems. Does that make sense?
I got it. Yeah. Thank you. Go Broncos.
Go Broncos. Yay. Yeah. Yeah. And if there's, the other thing, Marcia, the one thing I've seen that's been so powerful for myself, and I want to share this. I shared this on the last call, but let me show you guys a couple of things that happened for me on accident because this was running. I'll just show you a couple of them. I had stuff happen last week. I had stuff happen in the beginning. I'll show you a really cool one, guys. This is what's going to start happening for you if you really allow your account to be stimulated and really, make sure you're not dormant. So let me go to my Facebook account for a second. And I'll show you a pretty cool thing that happened for me. So you're probably following a lot of people you don't even realize you're following. I was following this gal. A lot of you have heard of her. Her name's Rachel Peterson. She's a big marketer. She's got 291,000 followers on here. She is huge in the social media space. She's a total titan. She's a really cool lady too. I was not friends with her. I just followed her and liked her content. Well, my little engager monster saw one of her comments because it came through my feed because she goes viral all the time. And it made a comment. She loved it so much that she commented back to me. So let me show you this, Rachel, and I'll prove it to you. Rachel Peterson. Look at this. I loved your thoughtful comments today. Always enjoy meeting new people with fun ideas. She's messaging me. Now, here's what happened later. I responded to her and said, hey, I'd really love to connect with you. I got some cool AI technology. I got some other stuff. I work with Think and Grow Rich and all this fun stuff. I'd love to interview you. Well, we ended up hopping on a phone the day I made the comment on her post. We talked for 45 minutes and I found out that she has roughly about 60,000 active customers. And we're working on a project right now to roll this technology out to her active customer base. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's easily going to make me probably 6 or 7 figures just on that one deal. This relationship would have never happened if my engager never made that comment. So I've had several things like this happen. Another one was Pejman Gadimi. Some of you guys have heard of this guy. He has the Exotic Car Hack Club. I was in his program and guy's doing okay. I think he's worth about 100 million. Those are his cars, cool stuff. Anyways, I was in his group and my engager saw his post come through my feed and it made a comment on his post, just like it did with Rachel. And that led to us doing a collaborative deal because he commented on my post, or he replied to my comment, and I jumped in and said, hey, Pejman, I'd love to connect with you and talk about some business we could do together. Sure. He ended up connecting me with his main man. Next thing you know, I had him on my show. I did an interview with him, and we now have an open communication channel. This kind of stuff never happens unless you're really truly out there engaging. I would have never connected with this guy ever. So you will start to see people coming organically to your profile. So you're going to see there's people that pay for traffic to come to your profile. So if you're putting all that content that David talked about on your profile, they're going to find out what's going on with your business. So the other thing too is you'll start getting a lot more new friend requests. You'll start getting people that are shooting you, direct messages and stuff like that. I can't even keep up with it half the time. I have people reaching out to me, trying to connect with me, So after you've run this for a while, you start to get this omnipresence thing where this is going to make you magnetic. Let me just put it that way. And the more that you comment in your news feed, Facebook is paying attention to what you're engaging with and trying to feed you more of the same information. So if they test some content out and they send some content out in your feed, and maybe it's a marketer, or maybe it's about a big leader or AI, it's going to continue feeding that kind of stuff to you, and you're going to start seeing just more and more content in your news feed. And it really stimulates the algorithm on Facebook, because when people reply to you from your comment, Facebook thinks that you guys are friends. So it's going to start suggesting your content to their friends and vice versa. And it'll start to suggest and show your posts to them as well. So this is the one thing I would say if I had to leave it with. I mean, because I can talk a lot about this. I could talk for another hour, but um, if we're not giving engagement, how can we expect to get engagement? A lot of us do a lot of posting. They teach you to post this, they teach you to post that, but we're not actually going out there and giving people what we want to get in return. So it's a law of reciprocity. So this is really going to help you do more engagement than probably 99% of people on Facebook. I see Sue's waiting there. I didn't know how long you were waiting. Sorry about that. Oh, yeah. Hey, Sue, I would be happy to answer your question. Oh,
Other button. There we go.
there it is.
Yeah. Um, you said a lot of people are going to want to become friends with you, right? I
Mhm.
have that problem now, and I don't, I mean, not because of stuff I've done, and maybe some of it is, some of it might be, but there's
Yeah.
so much spam. I mean, I have friends that I've been friends with forever, and it's
Mhm.
not really them coming in requesting to be a friend. And I'm like, are
Mhm.
you, and that kind of a mess. Is there some kind of way we can keep from that? Is there like a Facebook thing that will know, or we just make friends with these people and get
Here,
in all
great.
these things?
That's a great question. Here's the nice thing: the more authentic engagement you give out, you start to get the law of reciprocity coming back to you. So a lot of that spammy stuff actually kind of starts to weed out. If we're not engaging a lot on Facebook, we're going to get a lot of garbage coming in because Facebook doesn't know what to feed us. Um, Facebook's going to start connecting us with those people the more we engage with them, right? So Sue, that's a really
Hmm.
good point, because I used to get lots of garbage. It doesn't mean I don't get any, but now I'm having much more real interaction. It's kind of like if you went to like a barbecue and there's 50 people there. If you just sat in the corner and stayed on your phone the whole time, there wouldn't be a lot of engagement. But if you walked around and you talked to everybody, that whole entire experience would be totally different. And Facebook's kind of like that. So
But
does that make
Facebook
sense?
doesn't, but Facebook doesn't block them from requesting us for to be it,
Well, they get
do
in
they?
trouble.
Or
I mean, if they send out too many friend requests, and by the way, guys, we do need to go deeper into training on do's and don'ts in Facebook. I could probably talk to you for another hour of like probably 10 things you don't want to do. Like, don't send out like 20 or 30 Facebook friend requests. Cause like you're saying, Sue, Facebook, there's a million things you can do on Facebook to violate their terms of service, by the way. You're not even technically supposed to use your page to do business from your personal profile. They don't really police all this stuff. There's a lot of things people do. And if you ever get your hand slapped, like, oh no, they said I can't comment for a few days, it does happen, especially if you push the envelope on this. But the fun part about this too is we're not really spamming, we're actually giving out really good energy, because what happens is when you make a comment on someone else's post, there's really no strings attached to it. I'm saying, hey, I see you, you matter. This is about you, not me, right? And
Mhm.
and they get the dopamine hit. They associate your brand, your person with that dopamine hit, and you just look like a friendly person who's giving out a little bit of love. So I kind of look at this like you're giving out free hugs all day. It costs
Also,
you,
Okay.
hey guys,
so
also, Sue, a lot of people might be coming and looking at your page, and you might have a
Mhm.
post where you added a capture page. They might not send you a friend request, but they might say, "Oh, you're giving away a free app. I can make a quick $5 and grab it from your page." They don't have to be your friend to interact with your posts. So a lot of these people could
Mhm.
be coming and looking at you and engaging in a lot of this stuff without necessarily adding a friend request. They might say, "Wow, I can get 80% off travel. I want to check this thing out real quick." And so that's that you could do that without necessarily being your friend, just from them coming to
Oh
your.
yeah, I think it's a great idea. It's just that I have so many lined up waiting for me, and I don't even look at them anymore. I just don't. If somebody does it personally, if I don't know them, I don't even look at them. It's just,
it,
it got crazy. But my one quick question.
sure.
Somewhere along the line, they asked, or I saw somebody say you should do the professional page, but professional. I'm not a business page, but mine says professional dashboard. Is that a professional? I mean, is
Professional
that a
page. I know
business?
you can be like a creator, a digital creator, a profile. The professional page, what I'm trying to, I'm not sure if that's the same. If it's not the same thing as a business page, it shouldn't be a problem. It just does have to be the profile. And there was one other, I know Matthew knows some stuff about this too, but Sue, the other thing I wanted to say about your friend request, just like tip for everybody, make sure you're actually deleting those or ignoring them. Because if it starts to stack up, it kind of just gets like, it's like trash. But this
Yeah.
is a big tip for everybody. You know how when you send a friend request out, if it doesn't
Mhm.
get accepted within 2 weeks, you should be cleaning house on those, because if Facebook sees a really big, ever growing list of friend requests that you're sending out, and it may not be that they didn't want to accept it, they just never saw it and they forgot about it, but you actually start to get penalized pretty badly for having a lot of unanswered friend requests out there. Just a big tip for you guys.
Thank you.
Mhm. What's up, Matthew? Oh, wait, you're muted.
Yeah, I didn't log in through the Save Club admin side when I came in. I was just going to answer Sue. So, Sue, your question about the professional mode, that's your personal profile. And yes, it means you can accept more than or get followers above and beyond the 5,000 friend requests and so on and so forth. So, that's all I was going to address is answering her that professional mode is what you should actually be on. And then you can have a lot more followers as you grow your Facebook.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, yeah. Well,
And,
good answer. I know Matthew and
and
I
if you
got,
have,
go
oh,
ahead.
go ahead. Sorry. Well, go ahead,
I was
Emerson.
I was going to say we got a chance to chat, and it's really fun because Matthew knows a lot about marketing stuff as well too, and it was really interesting because Matt, you know how engagement matters, you know how all this stuff works, right?
Yeah, well, I've been running the Monster Engager now for 6 days and getting some pretty good interaction with it and pretty excited. I changed my settings a little bit different because I did go into Facebook jail for too many comments because I kept
Oh
hitting the engage
no.
button. Yeah, but I went and changed my engagement. So I'm running every 10 minutes, I do a comment
Hmm.
and it seems to be doing good. And like today, I've gotten today's engagement alone, I've done 30 engagements today,
High five,
off and
man.
on.
That's exactly what I just hit just now is 30. Is 30. So that's a nice number, by the way, guys. I have seen people, I've had some accounts where I go to log in to help them tweak something. I'm like, whoa, you were flying. So I do know that you can go above 30. Just be warned that I don't know where the threshold is. Probably bigger
So I
spaces
got
in between.
so I got one question for you, Emerson.
Yes, sir.
You when you set me up, you got me so that every comment leaves that question at the end. I tried to find if I wanted to get rid of the engagement question. I want to do some testing, right? I
Sure.
want
Yeah.
to play with this thing of it, and maybe you and I can connect after because we're getting really long here at 20 minutes past top of the hour. It's 11:20 here where I live. But yeah, I was just wondering where in the prompt do you modify that? But maybe you and I should connect after.
It's a great question because here's the thing. I will. That's a great question, and I like the idea of what you're saying, split testing. But something, guys, I want to explain here, and you do have an option. You could have this thing be more authentic and like short and less like open, right? Because I like to leave open loops psychologically. It leaves a psychological itch. We don't like to leave open loops. It might not feel natural, but here's the thing. Some people are like, I really just don't like that it's doing the question. And I've kind of fine-tuned it where it doesn't do it all the time. It does it if it's appropriate. But that's the tricky little nuance with these prompts. And I'm glad you asked that question. I put the little chat GPT engager coach in the chat one more time. You might kind of
Yeah,
mess
I
around
grabbed
with
that.
that. You might want to mess around with that, but I'll show you one thing that I did, guys, and I'll even copy paste this chat, this comment. Sorry, hold on, let me go to my engage. So what I'm running right now, I was kind of trying some experimenting myself. And guys, this is kind of fun to experiment with. Just be careful if you try to tell it rules that it can't do. Like, say, if you tell it to skip a post, it will literally tell you I'm skipping this post as the comment. You have to run that stuff through engagement. So a little word of warning there. But let's look at my prompt real quick. And I think this is really good information. Let's see where I'm going to go into where it does the questions. Not so much in my nope, it's not in here. It's in my prompt. I'll show you where it happens. All right, here we go. So we'll just read through it. Write a short, natural 1 to 2 sentence comment based on the post content. This is the tag for that, with awareness of the comments. If you take that out, it won't look at those things. Start by tagging the poster using tag person. That's very smart. I recommend not taking that out. Only use their name again if it flows naturally. Your comment should reflect presence. Speak like someone who noticed something most people missed. Match the emotional tone of the post, but go one beat deeper if possible. This is where I get a lot of authenticity and fragments and stuff. I say, you can use fragments. That's real. Felt that. Small imperfections, double periods, lowercase, missing comma, humor, dry, kind, forever, never forced, warmth, simple encouragement, curiosity, short. Oh, there it is. Curiosity, short, reflective question. So right there, if I deleted that right there, I'd probably get rid of that. I have my do not area, do not use hype language, corporate buzzword, quote card phasing. I can't talk, Stephen. The star emoji, I hate when they use that star emoji, or M dashes. I don't like when they use M dashes. Yeah, there's nothing else in this particular comment that's caused me to do a question, but I added it right here. So you might want to just read through your comment and just see where is it prompting them to ask a question. And you might play with those little words. And you can always create a variation of it too. You'll see I have a bunch of old ones and I haven't used these forever. I just need to delete them. I want to see if there's a.
Wait,
oh,
Emerson, I don't think you were sharing there.
Oh, I'm not sharing. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Here, I'll show you real quick. So we're looking at my prompts. So we're in this section under settings, comment /AI comments. I want to show you where you might see something where like an open question right here. So under you can use, this is where it usually shows up. It says right here, curiosity, especially open loops or reflective questions. So if someone's like, man, I'm tired of it asking questions, delete that. And it's going to just be more talking, not really asking questions. Questions massively increase your engagement, like majorly, because if they comment, that's a huge tip to Facebook that you two are friends and they need to keep showing your content to each other. So I opt to do it, but it's up to you guys. You can totally split test stuff. Yes, I see we got someone raising their hand. Sandra over there. Sandra, are you there? Hello, hello. Yeah, wait, let's see if you unmute there. Sandra, I think you're muted. Oh, there we go.
Sorry, it wasn't allowing me to unmute. Two quick questions. If you're not getting a lot of engagement and by putting on this now you started to get, how can you control it with just say you want to just get 10 engagement a day and then gradually let it go up to 15, 20?
Great. Great question. Thanks for asking it. I think it's a brilliant question. So underneath your settings, go down to engagement. That's where all your settings are. It's going to be in this area where it says run settings. So I would leave this thing on, this toggle on. It says how long the manual engagement will run. And I would have this, like, let's say you only want to do, you said 10 engagements. So
yes, 10. Yeah.
yeah, and you could, if you want to do them all at once, in theory, I could change this to 40 minutes and that would be 10, right? If you do the math, for every 4 minutes, it's going to do a comment for 40 times. So that's 10. That's 10 times. Now, if you wanted to do half of it, you could do it every 8 minutes and then run it twice that day. That would only get you 5. So it's really just the math equation. How much do you want to do? You could say do one every 10 minutes for 100 minutes, and that would get you 10 comments, one every 10 minutes. And then you make sure you always hit save anytime you make changes to that. And if you guys want to experiment with engaging with some pages or groups, I've actually had some pretty cool stuff come from that. I'm actually going to turn my groups back on. I'm going to experiment with that for a bit. Even the ads. So that's how you do it. Always make sure you hit save. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. And my second question, as you were saying, I think that will control it because I heard you said, oh, well, if you have so much engagement for the day, you can turn it off.
Yeah.
You turn it off, and where do you turn it off?
Great question. Yeah, you would basically, there's a button. So if you happen to be by your computer, when this thing's running, you can also hit stop. So if I hit run right now, you'll see that, hold on one sec. See how it says stop engagement? I can go ahead and click that again and it'll just stop.
Okay.
And by the
Thank
way, you got, okay, yep.
Thanks again. That was my two question, because when you're not getting a lot of engagement and you started to do this now, you don't want Facebook to put you in jail or say, oh, well, she weren't getting a lot and now all of a sudden she's getting 30 engagement. Something is going on. So I want to gradually increase my engagement so it will
Smart.
truly.
I highly recommend that. Yeah, you know, 7 to 10 is no big deal. I've seen most people get away with 20. But yeah, that's you're smart to do that. It really doesn't take as long as you would think. If you did like 10 engagements for a few days, you can start bumping up to 15 or 20. But yeah, that should do the trick. All right. Sandy O, I see your hand is raised up. Here we go. How's it going?
Hi, Emerson.
Hi.
My question is, yeah, so you said only a personal Facebook page, not a business page, correct?
Yeah, it can't connect to like the actual business entity page. Yep.
And now you have your personal page and it's going to it's reaching out to business pages, right?
So here's how the pages things work. So on my page, let me go back to my feed. No, let me go back to my page here. So if we're on my thing here, I have a digital creator profile, and if I go into my news feed, oh no, let's go to our settings. Under settings, under engagement, you see how it says from pages or groups. So pages can be business pages. So if a business page does a post and it shows up in my feed, I might engage with that. So it will show up in there. Looks like I'm running right now. Yeah, see this thing's running rogue. That's how you close it. Did that kind of answer your question? Are you're wondering how you can engage with the business pages?
Yeah, I am. The other, or for instance, in Save Club, we have the fundraising component. So if we were to reach out to pages, that are running fundraisers, they would be what
Oh,
would they be, that kind of thing.
I see what you're saying. So if you'd like to try to connect with people that are maybe doing the nonprofit stuff, or maybe some people that would be good for that program.
That's right.
Okay, check this out. So I see this is fun stuff. There's all kinds of tactics you can run on Facebook. I would start doing this, especially if there's a particular type of nonprofit, but let's just do this nonprofit. Oh, it's probably gonna have the dash. What's this nonprofit? So I'm doing a search right now. Nonprofits, nonprofit. I'm gonna type nonprofit in, and I'm gonna look for groups. Oh, that's people. Hold on, let me go to groups. Ugh, there we go. So I just did a search for nonprofit, and I'm going under groups. I could look near me. I could look for only public groups. Let's just do only public groups. Now, check this out, guys. Here's a nonprofit fundraising professionals group with 37,000 members in it. Now, there's probably some garbage in there, but there's probably a lot of people that are, collaborating in nonprofits. But look at all these pages. I would come in here and I would interact with people and I would start to make some new friends and connect with them, especially if I could tell that they themselves were maybe a nonprofit owner. And you might have to do a little bit of work in here, but come in here and find somebody who might say, "Oh, I have a nonprofit XYZ, blah blah blah." You might go, "Ooh, I need to go check that person out, and maybe I'll send them a friend request." Like, so I would start to connect with people in the places. Like it's kind of like going fishing, where the type of fish are that you want to catch, right? So Facebook has so many different groups; it's almost endless. I mean, if you look for,
Right.
so that's what I would do. Because imagine if you made over the course of the next couple weeks or the next month, what if you connected with 20, 30, 40 new people that you knew were heavily engaged in the nonprofit world? And what happens is if they become your friend, now when they're posting in the feed, guess who's engaging with them? So you can start to nurse those kind of relationships. That's where I would go to network.
Okay, so you're saying organically reach out in this manner first and then make some connections of people and
Yeah.
then they're going to come into your feed.
Yeah, exactly. So, I would just, if there was a particular area you wanted to go, like maybe someone's, into the veterans or something like this, you're going to find probably some lot. So what I would do is some of these you'll go, I don't really see a lot of activity in here, but you might want to find a spot where you're like, okay, this is, I mean, some of these, they have tens of thousands of members. Look at this one, raising money for your nonprofit organization. That's an interesting one. So, there's a lot of, this is the Facebook's like a big giant blue ocean. So meanwhile, though, you just want your profile to continuously be engaging. And you also want to definitely make sure you're taking advantage of posting stuff. If you're trying to attract nonprofits, you might put some information out there that would be relevant to them. And I think, David, you've created some stuff for that as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So the Engager Pro is not going to reach out to these groups on its own.
Yeah, it lives in your news feed. So your news feed is kind of like Facebook's infinite scroll. That's the place they would love you to land, right? That's where they want to feed you advertisements. That's where they want to feed you content. That's where they want to keep you engaged on the platform. But the more that you engage with your newsfeed, the more stuff Facebook will feed you. So
right, it's going to recognize what you are interested, who are you interested talking to, right? It'll
exactly. So you kind of have to put a little bit of effort in there with it. But the fun part is oh, one more cool trick for you guys. When you meet someone offline and you're not friends on Facebook, grab your phone and connect with